I forgot that.
Yeah, we need to make it because
Just one minute. That's strong. I can't see that in picture of it. Oh, they came. So I told them what we discussed. They used
Navapremayutam Navanetashujam Navaveshakritam Navapremarasam Navadhavilas.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Haribo.
Yeah, Dandavad Pranam.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very loud and clear.
Okay, so let me go back a little bit from the mic.
Okay. Yeah. So, while we wait for devotees to come online, if you don't mind, I just want to continue playing bhajan for some few minutes.
Sure. Amazing. Yes, better.
Yeah. So we hear the kirtan for some time, then when devotees join, and then we start off.
Sashubha Premamaya Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram Nava Premayutam Navanita Shucham Nava Veshakritam Nava Premarasam Navadhavilasa Shubha Premamayam Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Hari Bhakti Param Hari Nama Dharam Karajapya Karam Hari Nama Param Nayane Satatam Pranayashrudharam Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram Hari Bhakti Param Hari Nama Dharam Karajapya Karam हरिनाम परं नयने सततं प्रणयाशुधरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत घोरवरम् सततं जनता भवतापहरं परमार्थपरायण लोकगतिं नवलेखकरं जगतापहरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत घोरवरं सततं जनता भवतापहरं परमार्थपरायण लोकगतिं नवलेखकरं जगतापहरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत घोरवरम् निज भक्तिकरं प्रियचारुतरं नटनर्तन नागरराजकुलं कुलकामिनि मानसलास्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं निज भक्तिकरं प्रियचारुतरं नटनर्तन नागरराजकुलं कुलकामिनि मानसदास्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत घोरवरम् करतालवलं कलकण्ठरवं मृदुवाद सुवीनकया मधुरं निज भक्ति गुणावृत नाट्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं करतालवलं कलकण्ठरवं मृदुवाद्य सुवीनकया मधुरं निज भक्ति गुणावृत नाट्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत घोरवरम् युगधर्मयुतं पूर्णानन्दसुतं धरणेषु चित्रं भवभावचितं तनुध्यानचितं निजवासयुतं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं युगधर्मयुतं पूर्णानन्दसुतं धरणेषु चित्रं भवभावचितं अनुदानचितं निजवासयुतं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरम् अरुणं नयनं चरणं वसनं वदने स्खलितं स्वकनावधरं कुरुते सुरसं जगता जीवनं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरम् अरुणं नयनं चरणं वसनं वदने सरितं स्वकनावधरं कुरुते सुरसं जगता जीवनं प्रणमामि शचीसुत Gauravaram. Navagoravaram, Navapushpasaram, Navabhavadharam, Navalasya param. Navagoravaram, Navapushpasaram, Navabhavadharam, Navalasya param. Navahasya karam, Navahemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Navahasya karam, Navahemavaram, Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram. 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 Navagauravaram, Navapushpasaram, Navabhavadharam, Navalasya param, Navahasya karam, Navahemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Navagauravaram, Navapushpasaram, Navabhavadharam, Navalasya param. Navahasya karam, Navahemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Navapremayutam, Navanitashukam, Navaveshakritam, Navapremarasam, Navadhavilasa Shubha Premamayam, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Navapremayutam, Navanitashukam, Navaveshakritam, Navapremarasam, Navadhavilasa Shubha Premamayam, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Hari Bhakti Param, Hari Namadaram, Prajapyakaram, Hari Nama Param, Nayane Satatam, Pranayashrudaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Hari Bhakti Param, Hari Namadaram,
Hare Krishna devotees, you are welcome to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So I'll play Srila Prabhupada's Jai Radha Madhav. Then after the Prabhupada's Jai Radha Madhav, then Mataji can start the class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Nitya, today, I'll put the verse for the day on the screen. Then you can start.
What did you say?
I said, I'm going to put the verse for the discussion today on the screen. So you can start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you can go ahead, Matudu.
Okay. Oh, the verse is here. Okay, good. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, thank you very much for coming. I'm very happy to be here with you today. I am Nitya Kishore Dasi from Brazil, and I'm talking from Mayapur Dham. Hare Krishna. So Hare today, Srimad Bhagavatam class verse 1843. Okay, I have here. Well, I cannot see here properly. If you open, you can see better. Okay, but I have it here in my screen. Shri Krishna Krishna Saka Vrishni Rishabhavani Drug Rajanya Vamshadahana Anapa Varga Virya Govinda Godvija Surarti Hara Avatara Yogeshwara Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Let me go to word by word. Sri Krishna, oh Sri Krishna, Krishna Saka, oh friend of Arjun, Vrishni, or descendants of Vrishni, Rishabha, or chief, Avani, the earth, Druk, rebellious, Rajanya, Vamsha, dynasties of the kings, Dahana, or annihilator, Anapavarga, without deterioration of, Virya, prowess, Govinda, or proprietor of Golokadam, Go of the cows, Dvija, the Brahmana, Sura, the demigods, Artihara, to relieve distress, Avatara, O Lord who descends, Yoga Ishwara, O Master of all mystic powers, Akila, universal, Guru, O Preceptor, Bhagavan, O Possessor of all opulences, Namate, respectful obeisances unto you. Translation given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
O Krishna, O friend of Arjun, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distress of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. Om Gyana Timirandasya Ganyam Janam Shalakaya Chakshur Militan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So let's go read the purport. I have the purport here. You don't have to put that. Well, for everybody, it's okay. But good. A summary of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna is made herein by Srimati Kunti Devi. The Almighty Lord has his eternal transcendental abode where he is engaged in keeping Surabhi cows. He is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. He descends to the material world to reclaim his devotees and to annihilate the disturbing elements in groups of political parties and kings who are supposed to be in charge of administration work. He creates, maintains, and annihilates by his unlimited energies, and still he is always full with prowess and does not deteriorate in potency. The cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees of the Lord are all objects of his special attention because they are very important factors for the general welfare of living beings. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada's purport. The purport who saved the whole world. Haribol, all glories. Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to thank the organizers. for the invitation, and also like to congratulate them for their service for the humanity, because Krishna Katha is a very need of the human society. So, you know, I'd like to especially to remind and remembering the verse that Saunaka Rishi speaks in the second canto. He says that the sun, it's very famous, the sun is taking away, decreasing the duration of the life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all good personality of Godhead. This is 2:3:17. So speaking Krishna Katha is never a loss. You know, Srila Prabhupada, he was there in Brooklyn alone, speaking to the four walls, and he told everybody he was not alone. 33 million demigods were there listening, because this is very important. This is very auspicious. This brings all auspiciousness. And then we are very lucky that you are here discussing Krishna Katha. So I want to go back to the verse here, the amazing verse spoken by Kunti Devi, the great Kunti. So this is the last prayer. This is the last verse of the Kunti prayers. And then we start again with something else, but this is the last verse. So he is a Krishna conscious soul, a Krishna conscious person in a woman body. And I'd like to call attention for this fact that she is a woman. And there are two things that I want to say about that. For everybody who reads Bhagavatam, know that Kunti's prayers are very amazing. They're very intelligent. They're very strong. They're very straightforward, and they are very Krishna conscious. All her prayers, and Prabhupada made a book, you know, about her prayers. And I really want to say that Srila Prabhupada didn't make that for respecting women's, men's equality. Okay, let's have a book. Let's have a book here also because this is prayers from the woman. No. It is based on the glory, on the glories of the prayers. The prayers are amazing. And this is the reason why we have Srila Prabhupada speaking about those prayers. Those who go through the whole Bhagavatam, they understand these prayers are very, very important. You know, I was researching why is, you know, in Srimad and Bhagavad Gita, Krishna with the Shudras boys, and then he said, you know, even people less intelligent like women Shudras, they still can go to spiritual world. They still can be self-realized. And somebody may think there are contradictions, you know, in these statements, in these thoughts. But actually, you know, if you want to really to understand, then you have to go through our literature. So then you understand there are no contradictions. See, I am a marketing manager, and we work with statistics. And when we say a statement about something, some conclusion, it doesn't mean that there are no there are no exceptions. It means that generally like that. So generally, women are not so much interested in philosophical topics. Some are, Most are not. For how many men speakers there are, how many women are there? But it doesn't mean that they are less than the men. They have their own power, their own duty, their own capabilities. And I want to speak here about the importance of motherhood. I want to speak about that because sometimes when these discussions are going on, we forget the importance of having a good mothers in this society, so the adults will become intelligent, will become gentlemen, will become good women, good citizens, good businessmen, good teachers, good lawyers, good judges. By what? By the endeavor of a mother. So mothers, they are fundamental for a civilized society. Prabhupada's mom was very, very important for his spiritual life. My mother was very important for my life. And if I ask any man, they would say the same. My mother taught me this. My mother taught me that. Mothers, they are supposed to be more time with the kids. And not only that, they have special power to teach the kids. They have empathy. They have, you know, when the kid is small, we don't know, we have to guess what they want because they cannot say or they cannot express properly. So women has power to understand without words, because she has to do this kind of service. Which service? Be a mother. You understand? I am a manager. Look, I am a manager. And I'm telling you that this is most important than being a manager is being a mother. Manager is part of my my profession, my career. I love that. And if you go to my charts, management qualities are there. So I execute that, I perform that because this is my professional qualification. This is my job. But if I cook very nice cakes, it will not diminish me at all. So, you know, even we are few here, I want to pass this message through. Actually, I give on other classes in other groups, and in my language, I'm sorry for my English. English is my second language. I speak, and when I speak, I always remind those about the importance of that. Because if you can imagine, if we think that our service of being mothers is not important, and then we start to compete with the men, with the things that men should do, and then forget about our homes, to make them nicely and to raise good kids, so then our kids can make the difference in their society. And this is very, very important point. And then Kali, sorry, sometimes I am very strong. Kali wants us to forget that point. Get out from the house. Prestige is outside. We're here. And then we forget our duty. And then the society is a mess, full of people without balance. And then if they are not conscious, they cannot be Krishna conscious. If their life is a mess when they're adults, they need therapy. Come on. You want to avoid therapy? Have a good parents. Have good parents, especially good mothers. So I think this message should go across. And you know, even in India, I think we ISKCON, sorry to say, I live in India for 11 years. We are more machists than the Indians. You know, if the India, I'm preaching in India, and I always invited to give class, and they like it. You understand? And then we have Chitralekha ji here. She is a guru. She speaks Bhagavatam. She's amazing speaker. She knows Bhagavatam from the beginning to the end. So amazing. You understand? And they respect her. They respect her. But we know, generally, women, they like to be at home. They like to cook and serve others. They like to teach the kids. And this is not a problem. This is not, it doesn't diminish the women's value at all. But we can see that some of them, exception, you know, they are different, like Kunti. She is speaking one of the most, you know, this is her words, and she is mentioned here, which verse? She's mentioned here, Brahman Sanhita, Chintamani, Prakarasad, Masukalpa, Vriksha, Laksha, Vriteshu, Surabira, Bipala, Yantam, Shamantri, Banga, Lalitam, Niyata, Prakasha, Govinda, Madhipurushantamaham, Bhajame. Isn't it? Chintamani's verse is here, isn't it? Yeah, you are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distress of the cows. What's the verse? You are the... Oh, sorry. No, she's not telling. Prabhupada is telling. Sorry, not she. Prabhupada is telling. Prabhupada is telling. But her words here also coming from your process never deteriorates. From where this is from Ishopanishad, isn't it? Your prowess never deteriorates. Om Purnam Madaha Purnamidam Purna Purna Udachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Units coming from you, all complete. And then although it comes from you, you never ever become less because of that. You keep everything. So she is telling this. Whatever she's telling here is from Shastras, no speculation. She knew philosophy. How she knew philosophy? By hearing Shravana, by studying. She's very sharp, very powerful. This is one of the verses, but there are so many verses. You know, let me share something with you. I read Jamuna's biography, 2,000 pages, 2 books. And Jamuna is an incredible, pure devotee of the Lord. She knew a lot of philosophy. She's an amazing personality. She's a saint. The way she behaved, the example she gave, the surrender and the love and the understanding. Prabhupada's, she had an incredible understanding about what we are and about the process of Bhakti Yoga and deity worship and how to execute that. She was amazing. You understand? So not all the women like to do public talks, but some of them, they do it, and it should be normal. Srila Prabhupada was judging people by their qualifications, by their nature. You know, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, first for Adilila, in the Spiritual Master's first chapter of Adilila, Srila Prabhupada said that the spiritual master is very expert to engage the disciple according to their to her or his nature. This is what Prabhupada said. This is what Prabhupada was doing. So what I want to say is you don't have to be judged by your gender. Although Prabhupada knew that generally women like to sew and cook, some of them will be preachers. So he was analyzing first the capabilities of some women before engage them. He was not judging, oh, when Mataji came, go to the kitchen, go to cleaning. No. What you like to do? What's your degree? Can you do this for me? He was talking to Govinda Dasi, he was talking to Jamuna. So this is missing. This is missing in our society. Maybe it was missed before, and maybe it's missing now. And I believe that men would say to me, Nitya, Kishore, why you are talking only about women? Talk about everybody. Everybody should be. Prabhupada was doing to everybody. He was asking Hayagriva, what do you know? What are your skills? Prabhupada, I was teaching literature in the university. Oh, can you please correct my books? That was Prabhupada. That was Prabhupada. And then what you have a consequence of that? A very powerful society. Do you know that Shamasundra was a traffic dealer? This is the way to say. He was trafficking. He was selling drugs. This is Shamasundra. And he went to jail for 1 month. after meeting Prabhupada, and he was engaged in devotional service. Shamasundar, he was engaged. You know, I read Chasing Rhinos. I just finished a few days ago, Chasing Rhinos, the best Prabhupada biography. Oh my God, far out. So Shamasundar was a drug dealer, powerful drug dealer with Malati. They were selling drugs. They were making money by doing this. You know, let me tell you something. That time when he was selling drugs, it was more or less normal. It was not like a big crime to sell drugs that time. So he was selling drugs, and he was drug dealers means manager. Yes or not? Yes, but he is doing business with the wrong stuff, but means that he has the skills. So Shamasundra was a big manager. I'm telling you, big manager. And Prabhupada engaged him in many projects. Please read Chasing Rhinos. It's amazing. Look how Prabhupada was. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, guys, I live in Mayapur. And I should not forget to speak about Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told all devotees in the meeting. He said, look, forget about what Jagai Madai did in the past. Please, forget about that. Can you imagine? Big challenge. Jagai Madai, a small village, not a village. Navadvipadama was a city. It was quite okay. Anyways, it was not so big, and they did a lot of crimes. You know, Jagai Madai. It was not small offenses. It was big. It was, it were big offenses they did. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please, don't treat them according to their past. So the same Prabhupada did in America. He was not judging anybody based on their past, He was, now Shamasundar, he's a new man, and he completely engaged full Shamasundar Prabhu's skills, and he did a lot. Do you know the very famous Mumbai festival, Cross Maiden? I'm telling you, this festival was organized by Shamasundar. He had no idea how to do it. He just tried and prayed to Krishna, and then he organized this whole festival. It was a big success. You know how he organized? He observed that the big matas were doing festivals like that. He was thinking, what's the big deal? A panda, microphones, blah, you invite people, you call everybody, you go to the news, and then you have a festival. And this is what he did. This is what he did. And then in Kolkata, they copied him, and then they did too. So this is very, very interesting, how a person cannot be judged by the gender. Man or woman, doesn't matter. Oh, you came from no-educated family. You don't value anything. Oh, this person is black. Oh, this person is woman. Oh, this person is too young. Oh, this person is too old. What is this? What is this? First of all, you ask. You never know. You never know professional and skills by just to watch. You understand? You have to speak to the person, and then you have to, of course, engage, and then you have to see the results. And then by seeing the results, you can keep engaged or you'll change or not. It's actually, you know, when you really want to have good results, you can do it. So then we hear, seeing that Queen Kunti, she is, you know, glorifying, and at the same time, she is giving to us a lot of insights and information and spiritual understanding about love for Krishna. And by recognized Krishna, you see, she's not, she's telling, you are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. She's not telling him, I am your auntie, come here, I'll give you blessings. She's not telling this. She's telling, you know, she's a friend of Arjun. Yeah, amazing. A chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni. Yeah. And, you know, like, well, you gave me this, and I'm telling you, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. So you're talking here, I'm talking about women's, you know, position, and then you're talking about politics. So I'm so sorry, I have to talk about that. And my opinions, they are not so, how can I say, they are not so, sometimes they create, they're not like what everybody thinks. You understand? They are more, I do much research, and I have things to say about political parties, and also amongst the devotees. You understand? Like, if you are a manager and if you become a disturbance in ISKCON, outside the ISKCON, it doesn't matter which institute, you will get destroyed. So we have to be very careful. Once somebody asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, so one devotee, you know, very good and do a lot of service and then commit mistakes too. And Prabhupada said, they will get the results for a lot of service, and they get the results for committing mistakes. So when you are in leadership position, we should be very, very careful not to treat people according to our own interests, but according to Guru Shastra Sadhu, according to the need of the person, with compassion, with empathy. This is very, very important. Oh no, I'm doing devotional service. This is for the welfare of everybody. So, and then we mistreated people, or we treat people based on how much money they have, how much support this person can give to me, or if I love or hate this person, or in the future, what's going to happen? And then you get a lot of courses, yes. And the same way that we get all the blessings by pleasing devotees, we also get bad things by unpleasing them. So we should be very careful not to displease the devotees based in our political alliances. You know, I spoke in Brazilian class some days ago. Devotees start to laugh because I told them sometimes we get so bad vibrations and decisions from the management that we really understand why Parashurama killed 21 generations of Kshatriyas. We really understand. We think, wow, I can understand how angry he became with those kshatriyas because they were, not being honest. They were not protecting the brahmanas. I will speak about it. Prabhupada said the brahmanas, the devotees, and the cows. This is what they should do. But then you know what? I'm not interested because cows, brahmanas, devotees, they don't give any profit. We need money to run the society. So why should care about them? Whoa, big mistake. Big mistake. Who will give you facility? Who will give you money? Who is the owner of everything? Madhava, the husband of the gods of fortune. He is the owner. He is the controller. So then we take decision not to displease him, instead of protecting the cows, the brahmas and devotees, we do something else more profitable. And this is our mistake. We should be very careful to try to combine both things. Yeah, we should do things right, not in a fanatical way to see the projects developing, but we have to do things that please the Lord, because he is the ultimate giver of everything. Okay, so here, women, I have a second part of the class that he creates, maintains, and annihilates by his unlimited energies, and still he's always full with prowess and does not deteriorate in potency. It comes from Prabhupada's purport. Yeah. It comes from Prabhupada's purport. Oh, yes, exactly. Amazing purport. I am reading Lagu Bhagavatamrita. Lagu Bhagavatamrita is a study of Srimad Bhagavatam made by Rupa Goswami with philosophical questions that we may have after reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's an incredible book. It's called Lagu Bhagavatamrita. So when the Lord excel, all the material world is created and annihilated. And when he in hell, always finished. So this is because, in Lagu Bhagavatamrita is explaining how we cannot understand the Lord. He is inconceivable with our material brain, with our material intelligence. And I think if we only meditate in that statement of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that when the Lord breathes the whole material world one time is created and annihilated. This is very, very much inconceivable for us. The concept of time and how much God can do. So that's the proof that God only can be understood by devotion, full surrender. If even the demigods cannot understand the Lord, what we speak about human beings, scientists, philosopher, Gyanis, wherever, they cannot understand. And let's suppose that somebody say, oh, but who said that? There's one breath of God and the whole material world is created and annihilated. And then this is from Vedas. So if you think this is not correct, please present another theory that we can study. But the Lord is inconceivable. And this is what Prabhupada is telling in the purport, his power. Okay, and the end of the purport, Prabhupada said, the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees of the Lord are all objects of his special attention because they are very important factors for the general welfare of living beings. In this statement, Srila Prabhupada is telling that the brahmanas, the cows, and the devotees are objects of his special attention. You know, the cows give milk to the nutrition of the body and the brain. The brahmanas teach spiritual knowledge, do sacrifices, many other activities, worshiping the deities that are fundamental for spiritual advancement. And even, let's suppose that a person is not so much interested, is lost in the material world and doesn't care about the spiritual advancement, but everybody wants peace. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you cannot have happiness without peace. So here, if the brahmanas give to these people, you know, words of wisdom, they become peaceful. And the devotees, just because they're kind, they inspire with their goodness, with their example, enthusiasm, and faith. You know, there are so many things that the devotees do that inspire people. We can see here, you know, like we want to be far from Krishna in this material world, doing whatever we want to do. And then still, he is concerned about the welfare of all of us. This is what I can see here in this Prabhupada's statement. You know, because, yeah, Krishna wants the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees to be protected because they are an object of special attention of Krishna. And then why? Why Krishna wants to give attention to these people? Oh, because they are important factors for the general welfare of living beings. It's just, you know, Madhurya Lila Guna Rupa Namna, Guna Rupa Namna, Guna, the qualities, Rupa, the form, the name, Guna Rupa Namna. So Guna is the qualities of the Lord, one of his quality, and this is Guna, their qualities, and one of the qualities of the Lord is his mercy. His mercy. He is merciful. Still, we did so many wrong things. We blaspheme, we forget. Still, he is interested if we are doing good or not. He is concerned about our welfare. He is extremely merciful. They also say that Kripa Shakti is one of his energies. So this one thing that we should never forget, Lord's mercy. So he is merciful upon anyone and everyone, and especially the devotees. So when the devotees commit mistake or they fell down, they are on a journey. We should understand. Prabhupada was understanding. Prabhupada said, Madhu Dvish was a very, very amazing, fired up devotee, did so much service. Before Prabhupada left the planet, he fell down. And then the God brothers were just like, oh, you're the worst of everything. And then he disappeared. And Prabhupada said, why? Why you disturbed him? He could continue as a grihasta. That's Prabhupada's statement. He could continue as a grihasta. We are on a journey. Sometimes men are very concerned about saffron clothes. It's not about the color of the clothes. They're so concerned. They hear that, they become, I forgot the name in English. They become fixed with the saffron. Their thinking is not about the color of your clothes, but it's about the consciousness of detachment that you have or not in this life. By doing what? By cultivating from many lifetimes the spiritual understanding. You cannot, a man or woman cannot fake renunciation. That's not possible. You are where you are, my friend. You are where you are. Be sincere, be honest, and practice the 9 process of devotional service. Pay attention of the 9 stages of devotion. Ado, Shraddha, Tata, Sadhu, Sangota, Bhajana Kriya. Tato Narta Nivriti Sya, Tato Nista Ruchistata. You cannot fake. Don't try and don't need to fake. You know what? Nityananda Prabhu, he said in Navadvipa Dhamma Mahatmya, he said, you know, if you chant the name of my Lord Gauranga, and if you serve him, I will give you material happiness. I will give you material happiness. Don't worry. These are Nityananda Prabhu's words. So there is so much mercy. There is so much mercy in Sankirtan movement that we don't have to fake anything. You are where you are, and from that position, you just practice the process. And then you go advancing. Prabhupada said, what? Gradually. Gradually. I think Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked Prabhupada, you know, it's easy to convince a person they're not this body, but it's very difficult to convince the person you're not this mind. And then Prabhupada said, yeah, this is more difficult, takes time. This is what Prabhupada said. Takes time. Some people, they born, and then they are completely like enlightened. Japataka Maharaj took sannyas. He was 21 years old. Who can imitate Japataka Maharaj? He is preaching from the bed. It doesn't matter what happened. What happens, he always preaching. He's always trying to save everyone. He is incredible devotee. Who can imitate? You understand? So the process is there, and what will give you spiritual advancement is the process. It's by practicing, it's by cultivating knowledge, is by cultivating sadhana, not by dressing saffron. It's just an example. You understand? Your dress, the color of your dress. Yeah, you dress saffron. Yeah, no problem. You can dress anything. The point is not the dress. The point is not the dress. So now we are here. Well, 40, almost 1 hour talk, 15 minutes. So I'd like to ask the organizers if we can go to questions or comments or whatever.
Thank you very, very much, Mataji. Very, very beautiful. Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah, I was just expressing appreciation for your wonderful class. So beautiful. Application of Krishna consciousness. Yeah, there are 2 basic angles of Krishna consciousness. One is the understanding, and the other is the application. And he spoke so much elaborately on the application of Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Mataji. I really appreciate the class. We'll go to the question and answer section. I have some questions for you, but I will allow Salika Dasa to ask a question first. Then I will ask my question later as the question and answer session goes on. So Sankalpa Dasi, please kindly unmute and ask a question.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Obeisances
Krishna.
to all of you. Hare Bo Nitya Kishore Dasi.
Hare Don't make me cry.
Thank you for inviting me. It was very inspiring. And yeah, I like the beginning, especially. This is just a comment, maybe.
Thank you.
You know
Very
that
welcome.
Prabhupada actually, he went so much against all these designations, like you are a woman, you are a race, or you are anything, because and he was so criticized for this, but he knew he was following Shastra, and Shastra says it doesn't matter which body you have, or which gender you have, race, whatever. And he was really not caring about being criticized by his own god brothers. So sometimes in some programs in India, he would ask some of his female disciples to get up and recite some Sanskrit shlokas and speak about some points. And some of his god brothers, they were like, what the heck is he doing? Not just initiating female devotees, letting them live in the temple, but now they are chanting Sanskrit shlokas and they're speaking philosophy. And Prabhupada made it like so open, and he didn't care what they were saying, how much they would criticize, because he just wanted to make that point clear that it really doesn't matter where you're coming from or what your designations are. It only matters, you know, what realization you get and how you surrender. So anyway, I like these points, about the women. And I think it's very important because nowadays I live in America at the moment, and everything is about race. There's a big point about race. It's such a topic, and it's like over the top. And it actually creates more and more confusion and more division. And it's very sad. And so I think in ISKCON, we have the solution, right? Like you were describing, it really is just how sincere you are in your devotional practices and how you try to transcend the bodily designations. Anyway, that's what just a little comment.
Thank you. Amazing. I want to say something about that, about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kiba Vipra Kibanyasi Shudra Kenenai, He Krishna Tattvaveta Say Guru Hoy. It doesn't matter if you're a Shudra, it doesn't matter who you are. If you know if you know Krishna consciousness, you are Guru. It doesn't mean Diksha Guru. It doesn't mean, like I read Vaishnava literature and I know there were women guru, like Prabhupada said, not so many. We always have to recur to Shastra. It doesn't matter what's happening right now. Things change, like Sankalpa is telling, they're all talking about that. Then in the future will be another talking. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's words are eternal. So he said that Guru means you give spiritual knowledge. You be a teacher. It doesn't matter, it doesn't mean Diksha Guru, but he said that. And another thing I want to share with you that I heard from a scholar, Indian scholar that lives in America. He was telling that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made a revolution in India. Let me tell you something. He's not a Bhakta and he's not from ISKCON. You know which revolution Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did? In the medium age that he was telling, I never heard from anybody that. I heard directly from him. He said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that saint, he said like that saint, he was spreading everywhere that it doesn't matter where you born, which caste, doesn't matter your caste. You can raise yourself to the point of become a Brahmana. You don't have to be a Brahmana. So he said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was was, how can I say in English? He was making this revolution. And then he said, you know what he said? This is very important for all of us to know. He said that one special development was happening in this time in whole areas. Because people, I don't have to be like that the whole my life. I can develop skills. I can do things. It doesn't, not because I was born in a jeweler maker family that I have to be like that. So he said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this in that time. He said that. So this is a very good click for all of us to understand what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to do. Came to, taking people out of all designations. And there is another pastime, Subudhi Roy pastime, that went everywhere to try to be a Hindu again, because just some Muslim, threw water upon him, and then he became a Muslim. And then he said, no, I don't want that. And then what they told him, I know you know this pastime, what people in general told him, drink ghee and die. Drink ghee very, very hot, you die. Next time, you'll be born in the Brahmana's family if you want to become a Brahmana again. And then he said, really? Okay. And then somebody told him, you know what? You meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I think he'll give you a good advice. He met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him? Go to Vrindavana, chant Hare Krishna, and serve the Vaishnavas. Forget about this Hindu nonsense. Sorry to say. Hindu temporary nonsense. Sometimes we have to be bold. Hindu things are not from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement philosophy. We should be very careful. Sankirtan movement is a very specific thing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatrodaro Naparaha. Remember that verse? Aradyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas. This very famous verse. Lokanath Maharaj said, this is a summarized of our philosophy. And in the end, the last sentences, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatrodaro Naparaha, means that the opinion of Lord Chaitanya for us is the highest. What does it mean? Means that you don't hear anything else, because nothing else is good for Kali Yuga. Be careful. Kali Yuga is crazy, and more crazy is coming. Pay attention to Lord Chaitanya, or what he's saying.
Thank you so much. Powerful, really powerful.
Okay, so there's something else here, Prabhuji.
Yes, I wanted to read that. I'm just commenting on your response. I've seen it. There's a message, comment. It's actually a comment. I'll read it out to everybody.
Okay.
It's from Paribhat Jaka Maharaj. He is saying, my Dandavat pranams to you, Nitya Kishore Didi. Hare Krishna. I'm very inspired by your enthusiasm and raw energy for preaching. So I myself, back in the 1980, when I joined ISKCON, it was very difficult in the black body. Somehow, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the Vaishnavas, I feel that some progress and development have occurred within me. You're a very powerful preacher, no doubt. So my humble request is that you sincerely seek out Sadhu Sangha of the biggest quality. We are following the path of Krishna, non-Shila Lam, the cultivation of Krishna consciousness. And that by necessity means only devotion. And that to, I don't know exactly what the word you must use there, of the highest quality. Whatever you repeat will have a profound effect on the heart of your audience. So my humble prayer is that you cultivate the spirit of pure devotion in our hearts. Only this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So it's a comment, it's a prayer, it's an encouragement to you.
Thank you.
Maharaj, thank you very much for that comment. We have a next question from Saradev Prabhu. I will still have a question afterward. Let's, Saradev Prabhu, please kindly unmute and ask your question.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
You may off your video
right.
so that your audio will be better.
Your network is a little bit weak. So
you may off your video so that your audio will be better.
yes, Saradev Prabhu, go ahead.
All right. My question has to do with I did not read it from any of the scriptures, but I heard from one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, where he shared that Srila Prabhupada actually said that there is a tunnel. There is a tunnel from India all the way to Brazil. And so during Lord Ramachandra's Leela, Lord Ramachandra traveled all the way from India to Brazil. And that is part of the reason why Brazil also has lots of Vedic culture. So I just wanted to ask Mataji, since she said she is from Brazil, what is the relationship between Brazilian culture and that of Vedic? Hare Krishna.
Brazilian culture and could not understand.
How close is Brazilian culture to Vedic culture?
Vedic.
Yes.
Okay. You want to know from where I'm coming from? Brazilians, they are not like Europeans, because if you ask in Europe, do you believe in God? And easily they would say no. So most of them, they're atheists. But in Brazil, it's like an offense if you say you are atheists. Very few people, they say they are atheists. They say they always have some religion. Spirituality and God is very important for them. It's very important for their lives. Close to Vedic culture, well, they like milk. They like cows, but I don't think we can say, I never did such analysis, the only thing I can say is that they are pious and they are attracted to spirituality more than other nations in the world. As a preacher, I had been traveling to South Asia, means South Korea. I was distributing books in South Korea during some time. I was in China, I was in Hong Kong, and I was in Singapore. So then I was in Europe, then I was preaching in Brazil, then I was in South America. So if you can compare, they are more friendly and they are more attracted to spirituality than other nations. Like in South Korea, they're very attracted to give charity. But if you talk about God, and a spirit, so it's not like they easily can say no, I don't believe, or I don't care, or this is not what I want to do, or I don't mind about that. But if you go to Brazil, people will not say that. They have different religions. They have Protestant in Brazil, Protestants, Catholics, and Hare Krishnas, and yoga, and there's so many things, and then they choose one. They choose one. They are never like that. No, I am atheist. Don't talk to me about God. It's very rare these things to happen. This is what I say about it. Okay, there is one comment question here.
Dr. George Amega in the chat room is saying.
Oh, okay.
Hare Krishna, Mother, thank you very much for your lectures. Well taken instructions from our mothers. And now we are taking instructions from you as well as Mother Kunti. My question is, these prayers by Mother Kunti, was it in reasoning with the Pandavas? Because I may say, based on a realization, based on our realization, some messages came in, so I took off my screen. Okay, based on a realization that he offered such prayers, and perhaps when the calamities befalling them, it was our sons who faced it. Perhaps women are to be protected. I'm not sure I understand what he intends to ask in that question, but if you understand, you can go ahead and answer. Otherwise, I'll request him to rephrase that question.
Okay, I may said based on her realization that she offered such praise, and perhaps when the calamities befallen them, it was her sons who faced it. Perhaps women are to be protected. Well, it's just yeah, it's obvious. Yeah. Of course. Women's body is not for a fighting. You know, even you don't see so many women going to war. Isn't it? They stay at home, and then some, very rare exceptions are there. They go to war. But, you know, when you put women in such condition and they're not made by that, there is a nature. We have a nature, you know, like, sorry, but please be aware. In Brazil now and so many parts of the world, they want to force that the kids choose their own gender. You know what does it mean? Means just a challenge of God. No, you don't control the gender. I am controlling the gender. This is a statement of atheism. Very simple thing. Don't be confused. This is atheism statement. So you don't control my gender. I control my gender. You understand? So, just a second. So, women's body they are more sensitive, and they are not made for certain things. And if some people, if I tell this, they say, no, we are equal. No, we are not. We are not. And I'm telling you, don't be confused and tell that we are equals, because even the Buddhists, they are not telling this. The Buddhists, those who are preaching in the internet, they are not telling. People are different, and genders, they are different because they are created with different duties, and they are not less or, you know, more because they have different duties. You understand? So this is the point I want to make. I'm telling you, I'm in ISKCON for 30 years. I surrendered, I was 17 years old. 17. And then I'm not changing now. What I'm learning for so many years. So no gender equality. We are not. We are different. And it doesn't make us less or more than anybody else. We are equals as a souls, but body is different. Okay? We should never forget that. Otherwise, we will be confused. Well, I think these women should be protected. Yes, women should be protected. Yeah, because no, we are equal. So Bhima and Kunti, they will all, how can I say, fight against the demon. What is this? Nonsense. Nonsense. She will fight with the demon who will cook. And the soldiers, they need to eat. You understand? It's very simple. Don't be confused. Okay, so let's go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, before I read the second question from George Amega, Mother Kusbo Basan commented. She said, Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat, you really inspire me to inspire all. Your mercy. Being in the body of a woman myself, I never thought of it as an impediment, though many discouraged me because I always remember Srila Prabhupada. Your class reiterated all of Srila Prabhupada's words. Blessed to have your association, Jai.
Prabhupada.
Thank you very much for that comment, Mataji.
Yes.
And the next comment, I think Wolfgang Liberia said he's going. I've responded to him. He said also he wants to thank you so much for your wonderful class and your dedication to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Then the next one is a question from Bhakta George again. Second question from Bhakta George. He said, my second question is that the kind of chaos, I think this chaos we are facing now in the world, can we attribute it to improper instructions given by our mothers as they are the first teacher? Can we attribute the chaos going in the world today to the lack of instruction or bad instructions from our mothers?
Well, you can also, because it's going through degradation. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, the whole world is going through degradation. If you go to this 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the first prediction is the leaders will be characterless. They will not be, the people from Kali Yuga will be disturbed by don't have good governments, never. Because of that, is a mistake to fight for good governments. The government will not satisfy you in Kali Yuga. Why? Because this is the destiny of Kali Yuga written in the Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto. You born in Kali Yuga, you can't be free for having a bad leader. You will have. And yes, bad leaders, yeah, mostly of them had aggressive, indifferent, crazy mothers. Why not? So many problems, psychological problems, comes from relationship, especially with the mother. You can say that. So if you want a better society, everybody be a good parent. If you want a better society, I'm telling you. Because this is true. If you go through the problem, you will see it comes from the childhood, and people need therapy to become better people. This is what they are telling. So because we are talking about this, I'm telling you this. But you also can say this Kali Yuga is going through destruction. And then this is the path to destruction. Do you know our dearest Pankajangri? He left the body. Hare Krishna. It was a very amazing fellow, amazing devotee, Pankajangri Jananivas Prabhu. And Jananivas Prabhu once commented, yes, Jananivas or Pankajangri? No, Jananivas Prabhu. He said, if you have a chance to leave this material world, leave it. Don't stay here thinking, oh, I want to preach. This is what he said. I want to stay here and help Prabhupada's mission. He said, no. If you have a chance, leave it. This is what he said. This is what he said. So we should be very aware of Kali Yuga, Venus influence. It will be like that. There is no hope. Oh, let's change the society. Let's change the... No, we are talking about this is the problem. This is what's the name? This is the cause. But can we change that? No, you can't. Sorry to say. But I am here talking about Shastra. What can I say? This is not a therapy, psychological consultation. This is Bhagavatam class. What you can say? Personally, Prabhupada was like very kind and understandable. But when he is sitting on the Vyasasana, he's a lion. He's a lion. What to do?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam.
Sorry.
This beautiful. I
So
have
then,
a question. I have a
yes,
question for you.
yes.
My question is, you've touched on a very, very important aspect of what is a big concern in our ISKCON movement globally. And in answering the last question, you re-emphasize by quoting, I was going to quote that when I'm asking the question, but you already mentioned that now, that in Kali Yuga, one of the biggest challenge is going to be leadership. Leadership will be characterless. Now,
Yes.
in our ISKCON movement, I remember before my Guru Maharaj left the planet, he kept on saying to us that don't allow the external political mindset of the society enter into your system, into our movement, into our management, into our relationship, because that is gradually upcoming. And today, I cannot convincingly say that that is not happening. We have somehow or other allowed this to come into the system, whereby the influence of the social, political degradation going on has come into this ISKCON system of leadership, of management, of devotee care, of relationship. So my question now is this: what can you suggest from your wealth of wisdom, the drivers of our movement? Srila Prabhupada's direct representatives are the GBC. Yes, but there are different levels of managers in ISKCON. So my question is that what will you suggest that should be done as a kind of a wake-up call? Because globally, I can tell you, I speak with devotees across the world on a daily basis, and there is this great concern. There is even some levels of petitions at different cycles about the quality of leadership that we have in our movement as a bane of development of our movement globally. What will you suggest should be done?
Management is my profession. I did marketing, and then I did the MBA in human resources. I was working with companies outside the ISKCON when I was just working before coming to Mayapur. And well, there are practices, there are good practices, and then there are bad practices of management. And I believe that ISKCON all around the world, it's not, I should not like try to, this is not a secret that we were going to a crisis in our management. But our life also is going on. Like we are getting old, life is, time is passing. And then if we try to, that is now, it's not in our hands to change the political system of ISKCON right now. Some of us, like myself, is not in my hand to change that. So what intelligent decision individually one should make? I'm telling you that the decision for me is very disturbing, because I learned from the university how to do projects from scratch. So for me, is a musician, when he hear somebody is out of tune, is very disturbing. When I see people commit mistakes in the management, for me is very disturbing. So what happened to me, I got very sick. Personally speaking, I got very sick because of ISKCON management mistakes. I almost died. I got COVID, and because my life was very stressful, because I am a manager in ISKCON, I was more involved. Now I'm less involved. So when COVID attacked me, I got extremely sick. So when I came out from the dead, I decided that Gornitai gave me mercy to come back. So Gornitai protected me, and Gornitai instructed me to separate the mission from the management. Please pay attention. And you can repeat that for others. Actually, this is what I want to do. I didn't have time because I already have one of the projects. This is one thing that I want to say. That's one thing that we should do in our spiritual life right now to save us. One thing is ISKCON management is all the systems or corruption or mistakes and blah, blah, blah. You can make a list, name it, okay? Another side is our treasury. what the treasury is. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada's mission, Guru mission, you know, all the treasure, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vrindavana Dham, deity worship, Harinam. That we know this is all incredible in Sangha. So why we should lose all this? Because ISKCON, some people are doing mistakes. Forget about them. You only connect with them here if you want. So don't do that. Don't connect with those mistakes. Connect with your own mission. If your leader, he knows how to deal with you, he gives you chance and you can trust him, work with him. If he doesn't, don't do it. If he doesn't, if he's crazy, don't join. Join yourself and pray to Gornitai, and it will pass. I don't see Mayapur. I live in the most political place of ISKCON in this world. This is Mayapur Dham. And I got threatened. So many things happened to me. And then I tell them, who is taking care of everything is not you. There is one person here. The other name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mayapur Ishwar, the controller of Mayapur. I live in Mayapur 11 years. I never saw bad overcomes good in Mayapur Dham. Never. Whatever you do bad, you will pay. Whatever offense you committed, you will be lost. Because, you know, there is one protector here, another one, that's Shiva. So if you do stupidity, he makes you crazy. I'm serving Navadvipa Mandala Parikrama for many, many years. I read all these books about Navadvipa Dham, and this is what happened. You'll be covered by illusion. So if you have any difficulty and that you are going through some decision, you have any problem that you have to take decision, you take decision based on your spiritual benefits and of the spiritual benefit of others. Don't take decision based on your envy, on your anger, on your money or your politics or your material interest. Why you should do that? You lose everything. So some people are going to crisis of making decisions. They are making bad decisions in their life. They get positions, and instead of helping people, they start to damage people's lives. So why you become disturbed because of that? Don't get disturbed. Don't join them. Join Prabhupada forever.
Jai.
Yes, and the pure devotees. There are so many amazing devotees in this movement. They are so incredible. They are blessings in our life. But we are concerned because some management is doing some mistake. So what? You understand? So this we should never forget. And we should help the devotees when they become confused, because really, these people, guys, look at this Prabhupada, look at the verse. What the verse is telling? What's the verse is telling? The verse is telling, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. So, like, you are not crazy. You are not like that. You are not tolerant, Prabhu. You're not tolerant, Mataji. You are an offender, Mataji. You are an offender, Prabhu. Is not like that. It's because you have a position, but instead of helping people, you are disturbing people. And Kunti, she's telling this here because it happens. So the point is, don't get disturbed. Join Prabhupada's mission. And I believe that this confusion in our managerial practices, I believe it will pass. But, you know, the point is how old we are. This we should consider. We have to change japa nicely every day. Our japa should improve. We have to read proper. We have to read the books. We have so many things to do. But then you start to fight about causes that you cannot change right now because you don't know. But have your opinion protected. Have your what's the name? Your when the person is don't get crazy. I forgot the name. That when you are, sobriety. You have to be sober. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Be sober. Be sober. Don't get involved. Get involved with Prabhupada and the devotees who are practicing the process. This is what I say.
Jai, bravo. Arrivo. Thank you so much, Mataji. This is awesome. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for the wonderful expression. Before I continue with the comment, I wanted to make some other comment, but then I want to give Mother Kusbo Basan opportunity. Her hands are up. Please kindly unmute and ask make your comment or question. She's been actually acknowledging and commenting on your responses. She's really enthused. I can see that in her face.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat. I mean, I really love the class. I mean, I just cannot forget the things. I mean, all the points which you made, especially you were emphasizing. I mean, we all are Prabhupada Nugas. We have to concentrate on that. And there should be no compromise in sadhana. I mean, I learned this from you. If we compromise like on the morning program, that is what Prabhupada always emphasized on the morning program. We should never compromise on our morning program. From 4 to 10, we should have a solid sadhana. Then everything comes automatically, because I have personally felt this. When my morning program goes topsy-turvy like that, like I live in Kolkata, I am not so fortunate to go to Maya. Maybe someday I'll go. But the thing is, always experience this, that in the morning, if we compromise, if I become a little lazy, if I don't get up, then the whole thing, like the other sevas which I have, like the transcription, all the sevas get disrupted. So you really helped me a lot, because from tomorrow I'm going to be mindful of this. So thank you so much. I mean, the class was really wonderful for me. I mean, it's Prabhupada's mercy, it's your mercy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Haribo. Okay, so thank you very much for everybody. Sorry for the length of the class. My God, it's 5 p.m.
It is not lengthy at all. Sometimes our class lasts for 2 hours, so it's just
oh
one
my
hour.
God.
So I really, really, we appreciate your presentations and then class. It is really, really beautiful. And we're looking forward to actually see you very soon back on this platform. The mood of Srila Prabhupada is so heavy, and then I think that is what the movement needs more than anything. Thank you so much. I'm sure your answers to the question will benefit so many people. Not only the little numbers of people on this class, but some of those who are also watching the class on the Zoom platform.
Okay.
Thank you. But Sadeh Prabhu's hand is up again. I wanted to end the class, but Sadeh Prabhu's hand is up. Maybe I'll give him an opportunity. He wants to make a comment. Sadeh Prabhu, please go ahead and express yourself.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Again, I'll say thank you so much for the class. I just wanted you to clarify something you said in the course of your class. You were saying that, in fact, even before I said that, I have to let you know, especially this forum, this platform, this Hare Krishna Africa Forum, is a forum that has respect for all devotees, regardless of gender, color, or anything external. So we do not pick and choose because somebody is black or somebody is woman. So that I just wanted to get it across. But you were mentioning that it doesn't matter which color of clothes one may be in, whether you are in saffron, you are in white, it doesn't make a difference. But I've also heard Srila Prabhupada ask his disciples, why do people honor me and respect me? and devotees couldn't answer. Eventually, Srila Prabhupada answered by saying that it's because I'm a brahmachari. And so when Bhishma took the vow of being a brahmachari, all the demigods sang and they said he's taking a terrible vow. So my little understanding is that, yes, we are all trying to preach, but there is also a difference between somebody who is a sannyasi who has given up sex life and preaching from somebody who is not a sannyasi. If you want to share a little more light on that, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Well, I'm sorry, but I never heard this statement that Prabhupada replied that why they respect me so much is because I am a brahmachari. If you could share, you know, like, because we hear things, I read 20 books of Prabhupada's biography and I don't remember that. So if you can share where you heard that, you please share. You were talking about the clothes. Well, we have examples in our movement of so many preachers and devotees, amazing devotees, that they are not sannyasis. They are not sannyasis or brahmacharis, they are grihastas. And one day I was here, I came from South America, and in South America, they have also the saffron thing in their, what's the name, in their head, very much stronger. So then many years ago, I asked one devotee, a very good devotee, very Krishna conscious from BBT, and he was a Bengali, he's a Bengali, but he's speaking English. I said, Prabhu, when you take sannyasi? Because for us, somebody is a brahmachari, why? Must take sannyasi. Sannyasi is the best, sannyasi is the best. And then he said, Mataji, the goal of life is not take sannyasi. The goal of life is develop love of God. Sannyasi is an ashrama, and you go there, you know, according to your possibilities. You should be comfortable. If you are comfortable, live alone and traveling all the time as a sannyasi, you become a sannyasi and you preach as a sannyasi. It doesn't mean that, oh, you have to reach there because it's the most elevated. No. The most elevated is to sincerely practice in the 9 process of devotional service and become a lover of the Lord. And this can be achieved in any varna, any ashrama, and any body. Women, this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. This is superior of beliefs, wrong beliefs, misconception, and misunderstanding that somebody may have. You understand? It's not like that. One is much more worried in taking sannyasi, man, or a woman and becoming a Diksha Guru than how I am developing myself, how much love I have for my spiritual master, how much respect, how much I'm treating everybody who comes to me for helping, how much endeavoring, how better every day I try to chant my japa. That should be your concern, your main concern. And then naturally, you'll be a Diksha Guru or not. Naturally, you'll be a sannyasi or not. Look at Prabhupada's example. What's Prabhupada's example? He didn't want to take sannyas. That's Prabhupada's example. He was very busy translating, trying to understand, studying. Look, everything what Prabhupada is telling is Shastra. He always repeats verses from the Shastras by memory. Even he was almost 80 years old. Can you imagine? We struggle for that. What kind of preacher is Prabhupada? And you know what? He didn't care about sannyasi clothes, but look what he was doing. He was profoundly, deeply studying the Vaishnava books and understanding Rupa, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami literature. You know, I'm telling you, anybody who is speaking this way about clothes, color, and position, blah, 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 is not serious. not serious. Because when you go through practice, when you go to study, you become so absorbed in the philosophy, you never care about externals. You never care. The external is just the consequence of your destiny that is coming in your chart. You know, nothing that you can be forced upon you. I want to take sannyas, I have to, because this and this and this and that. Oh, a woman think, I have to take Diksha Guru because then I have disciples and then they will help me to spread Krishna consciousness. No. Sorry. When I came to live in Mayapur, my English was very bad. My English is not good, but before it was worse than this. So I was a preacher already before, and I couldn't preach because my English was not enough to preach here in Mayapur. So then instead of complaining, I said, you know what? Let me go deep and studying. 10 years passed, and now I am giving seminars on Chaitanya Charitamrita, on Bhagavatam, so many subjects, books from the Acharyas, the Hare Krishna movement, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. You know why? Because instead of fighting or complaining because I could not give class, I was studying. I said, that's okay. So let me study. So I'm just sharing, you know, what I studied for all these years. Because here in Mayapur, there are so many books of so many acharyas that we have access. So then you can go through all the literature in so many respects. And this is very nice. I love that. And also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Lila, Goranga Lila. So nice, so important for us. So then this is what I'm telling. And I'm sorry, I'm completely sure about that, because I read that not only one book, but in many others. You understand? So sometimes maybe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, when he was preaching in the school, he observed that the students were making fun of him. So he said, for their own benefit, I will take sannyasi. So they will listen to me and respect, because I came to reestablish bhakti yoga. So there are cases like in that case also, but he did for the benefit of others. And also Srila Prabhupada was forced by his spiritual master to take sannyasi. Said, you must take sannyas, you must take sannyas. And then he took sannyas. But this was not important. So important. The clothes was not important, but he as a person, what he was representing and the way he was, his realization, you know, you can see other sannyasis. They are not like Prabhupada. It's not about the clothes. There is one, I am free of sex desire. Yeah, but you know, like which I think Srila Prabhupada is talking to the Indians. Prabhupada is talking to the Indians. And yes, a man who is free of sex desire becomes very powerful. So it's not about the clothes, but how much you are free of sex desires. We have many preachers, they are in white clothes, very important people, amazing people, like Madhavananda, for example. We can say many Prabhupada disciples, many other preachers nowadays we know. Okay, so sorry I speak too much.
No. This is wonderful. This is the wealth. You just mentioned it. This is the beauty of our tradition, that when we look at Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we look at the six Goswamis, we look at Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we look at Srila Prabhupada. What they represent is the deep understanding of the philosophy of the scriptures, of the previous acharyas, and they were presented in that manner. So you're not just speaking so much, you are expressing what is inside, which is the bar of devotion that you've developed over the years out of studying Srila Prabhupada's book. Kudos. I wish all our mothers in ISKCON globally can be like you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay,
thank you very much.
Let's finalize here. Thank you very much for your time. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, we'll be running up here. I just want to read. Kishore Prabhu is sending so many comments, and I just want to quickly brush through them, then we'll end the class, please.
Okay.
Because I know he wanted to speak that, but he's sending it. Kishore Prabhu said, therefore, unless one is quoting Srila Prabhupada, it's actually buttressing the point you have made. He's quoting Srila Prabhupada here. Therefore, unless one is very sincere and serious, it should not take up the order of sannyasa. One should not use this order as a means to cheat the public. It is better not to take up sannyasa in this age of Kali because provocation are very strong in this age. Only a very exalted person, advanced in spiritual understanding, should attempt to take up sannyasa. One should not adopt this order as a means of livelihood or for some material purpose. And then he quoted another one. He said, pseudo-mendicants, therefore, should not take advantage of the charitable disposition of the faithful householders. The first duty of a person in the renounced order of life is to contribute some literary work for the benefit of the human being in order to give him realized direction towards self-realization. He's quoting Srila Prabhupada's purport, and then it's just buttressing the point that you've made. You practically mentioned the Prabhupada was heavy with knowledge. He studied, and based on that, he took science for circumstances just to fulfill the order of the spiritual master. Thank you very much for this wonderful class. We're very grateful for your coming. Like I said, we look forward to seeing you very, very soon again on this platform. And we pray that Guru and Krishna will continue to empower you in their service. All your suggestions and advices are taken. I'll, at this point, request all of the devotees to please kindly unmute their microphone and let us loudly chant one powerful Hare Krishna mantra to appreciate Mother.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Kishore Dasi Mataji ki Jai. Thank you very much, Mataji, for coming.
Jai. Oh, glorious to Srila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
ISKCON Africa ki
Jai.
Nitya Gora Premanande Hari Bol. Jai.